I honestly have never felt attracted to Hyunjin more than watching this episode of him renovating a house, because what is it that his peacock energy whilst performing doesn't get to me? But when I see this man work and build a house, that's when I'm like quaking in my shoes. And this is further reiteration why, in my opinion, Hyunjin is a dom, and also why in his mind he genuinely thinks Chanbin is the wife. Because watching this video, like where he's building, and also the amount of pride he takes, I understand that he most likely is a Leo rising. I don't necessarily feel it with 100% of my intuition, but all signs point to it. But if he is a Leo rising, this places Aries Mars in the 9th, borderline 10th house, depending on the degree. And why this is relevant is because this is why Hyunjin for me is 100% dom, because he's a man who likes to show off his masculinity, and he's also a man who really prides his essence around it. Yes, Hyunjin is a man of androgyny, and of course his fashion style and his aesthetic really speaks to that. But if you look at the core underneath all that artistry, this is a man who really enjoys and is a part of his core being of being masculine and of service, and having people enjoy his characteristics and enjoy his personality based on that allure to his masculine energy. And I also think this is just me spitballing here, but I also think this is such a really key thread between Chris and Hyunjin, and why they do duos and songs together like Red Lights and Escape, is because these are two men who both really pride themselves on firstly being men, secondly being capable men, and thirdly having masculine traits that are of an enjoyment to people with a feminine aura. But it's also so confusing, because if he is a Leo rising, then he is a Libra moon. But then I watch videos like this where he's so in his element, and I'm also thinking maybe he actually could be a Cancer rising with a Virgo moon. Like, it fits. I honestly have I figured we are never going to get Hyunjin's birth time, so let's do his birthday video of me just trying to guess what it is and why. I will be using Modern and Placidus for this video, and I will tell you why very soon. And this is for delusional purposes only. Do not take this seriously. Let's go. Even though intuitively I don't feel Hyunjin is this rising sign, all of his characteristics and appearance point towards him being this rising sign, and it is a beautiful Leo. Now, of course, Hyunjin's birth time is unknown. However, if he is a Leo rising, this means he would have been born during the day between 2 to 3 p.m. approximately. That is why majority of the time people who have a Leo rising are born during the day, because that's when the sun is up. And guess who Leo is ruled by? Correct, the sun. So the reason why I've chosen to use modern astrology and Placidus with this video, even though Hyunjin's birth time is unconfirmed, because if he is a Leo rising, this places his Pisces and Libra moon in very karmic, very potent degrees. For example, if he is a Pisces sun, he was born at 29 degrees Pisces, which is of course a fame degree. It is also a very karmic degree, because it means that in this lifetime you are meant to embody the last of your Pisces remnants before you move into Aries. If he is a Libra moon, this makes him at 0 degrees Libra, which is the opposite to his Pisces in this lifetime and in the lifetimes forward for Hyunjin, he is meant to embrace his Libra moon, all the lessons and personality traits that come with being a Libra moon, which is very different to Chris from Stray Kids, who has a Libra moon, but his is at 29 degrees. Chris is at the end of his moon cycle. In the next lifetime, if you believe in that, he will be a Scorpio moon, and that will be his lesson to embrace his Scorpio energy. Plus, I will say Hyunjin does have all the characteristics of a Leo rising, the hair most importantly. The fact that Hyunjin can also wear different hairstyles and colors and yet look amazing in all of them. Also, the fact that his hair grows really easily. I remember, I think it was in Maxi Dent, he was able to go from short hair to having shoulder length hair in like less than a year, which for most people, me included, that's very difficult to do. Even with blonde hair, his beauty is emphasized. I, of course, will always be of the opinion that Hyunjin with long black hair is my favorite. And also with Leo risings, a really interesting trait about them, like Gemini risings, is when they adopt different aesthetics, they can almost become unrecognizable with their appearance. They are like the chameleons of the zodiac world. Same as Aquarius when it comes to changing their appearance. I love this look of Hyunjin in the Motley Crue solo for a couple of reasons. One, when he has his short hair, especially in this music video, it's like he's a different person. I forget that this was actually Hyunjin in this solo because to me he's just almost unrecognizable. Also, I feel like this look in particular, it's also one of my favorite solo performances of Hyunjin, is because it really caters to his Mars, which I have mentioned in the past is his singleton. It is the most influential planet in his natal chart because there are no ties to other planets. His Aries Mars is able to roam and be the best that it can be without limitations. That's why I'm really excited about his buzz cut, because I know that we will be getting this look soon. I hope anyway. So Hyunjin's rising signs, the most influential the day that he was born, is either Cancer, Leo, Virgo. If he is a Cancer rising, this would make him an Aries sun, which I don't feel that he is. If he was a Virgo rising, this would also make him a Virgo moon. So even though intuitively I don't feel Hyunjin is a Leo rising, he probably is most likely. And another reason why it cements that for me is because I've seen Hyunjin twice on stage, and when he performs, he does have peacock energy, like show pony energy. He loves the attention, he loves the stage, he loves the praise, he loves the appreciation, which you can see in so many of his clips when he goes right to the barricades and lets people, like all the stays, touch him and fill him up basically. Sometimes their hands wander into very inappropriate places and I'm like, ooh. Maybe watch yourself, Hyunjin. I think also the reason why I was hoping Hyunjin would not be a Leo rising, because this means all of his Pisces stellium, his Pisces sun, his Pisces Venus is all in the 8th house, which is diabolical in my opinion, because that means he's always one step close to emotionally crashing out, especially with the 7th house, Neptune and Uranus. That's why I also wanted to include modern astrology as well, because in modern astrology, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And in my opinion, Hyunjin is very Neptune influenced, even in his appearance. For me, Hyunjin has that very classic siren energy, which I always affiliate with Neptune, because Neptune represents the subconscious, the dreams. It's very whimsical energy. It represents the ocean in some cases, and to me Neptune is that ultimate siren energy. It's alluring, it's mischievous, it's very romantic, appears to be kind, but there is a real sense of volatility and darkness behind Neptune energy. People with this energy are the type that they may appear so perfect and the right person for you, have all the green flags you think they do, but yet you don't see their shadow self, or you don't see their not so compatible traits until it's too late and you're too invested in who they are. Because that's the power of Neptune and also the power of Pisces. Why Pisces placements can be so manipulative, because they are able to create the image that you want to see in them. Also further proves my opinion Hyunjin is a dom, because with that 8th house stellium plus that Mars Jupiter means intense control issues, so much power trip issues. Also, Mars conjunct Jupiter in a man always means he has big things on him. Now, moving on to his type, if he is a Leo rising, that places his 7th house in Aquarius, combined with the Neptune and Uranus influence that Aquarius has in modern astrology. This means if he is into women, this means he would love the quirky girls. Like, I'm not like other girls. Think manic pixie girl energy. Honestly, I'm never a big fan of this show. It just never pulled me in. But the perfect TV show, in my opinion, that embodies Aquarius, Uranus aesthetic so well is Euphoria. And to me, Euphoria is so Aquarius coded, like sparkles, glitter, holographics, dim lighting, excess, addiction, androgynous, but yet with a feminine girly edge at the same time. I always tell people, if I'm doing a natal chart reading for them, if they have Aquarius rising or an Aquarius Venus, don't wear matte clothes. You have to wear sparkles, glitter, holograph, sheen, even something glowy, because matte will not suit you. Being ruled by Aquarius is being ruled by the galaxy, the cosmos. Wear an aesthetic that kind of suits that. Am I surprised that he's an Aries Mars and into stuff like this? Absolutely not. Say it once, say it again. Hard dom, really intense, both physically and emotionally. This is a man who becomes addicted to his lovers, especially with his Pisces stellium. This man does not know balance. He is either completely detached or completely obsessed. I love how just completely at ease he looks in this photo right now, but very sensory as well, like chains, wax, ribbon. Red light is not a fantasy. Red light is a manual for what Hyunjin enjoys. I honestly...
Oh, the time I was born?
Yeah.
Hyunjin is actually the opposite to Chris. Hyunjin, whilst both possessive and jealous, is absolutely the more jealous type, and here's why. Disclaimer alert, this is for delusional purposes only. I am not saying Hyunjin is like this. I am saying if Hyunjin does not have control over his fantasies and has no grip on reality, he could be like this based on his natal chart. So Hyunjin has a Pisces Sun, Mercury and Venus with a Libra Moon and an Aries Mars, which makes him a lot more jealous than Chris, because Hyunjin isn't focused on territory or marking or claiming you, for example. Hyunjin's dark side or his jealousy would manifest in him offering you complete devotion. And as someone who also has a Pisces Venus and an Aries stellium, yeah, water Venuses arise. The limerence and obsessiveness we get over our loved ones can be absolutely crippling, right? Which is why Pisces, and especially if he is a Leo rising, this would place his Pisces stellium in the 8th house. The dark side of these as lovers is it's so easy for us to calculate and believe that our obsessive tendencies are works of devotion. And this fake text messages of "I took your perfume and I spread it on my pillow," classic Pisces move, which reminded me of this really great stalker 90s movie, which to me really classifies what Hyunjin's love could be like if he was extremely toxic. And that is Single White Female. The context of this movie is
basically the main character seeks a roommate, and the roommate becomes absolutely obsessed with her to the point that she wears her clothes, her haircut, her perfume, right? Purely out of jealousy to mimic and create a persona of herself that isn't her own, because she's incredibly insecure about her own personality and her appearance. So Hyunjin is definitely the more obsessive one compared to Chris. Definitely one of the more obsessive members in general of Stray Kids, because with Pisces, and I know that I'm like this and I have to really ground myself when it comes to intimacy and crushes and all of that, especially being demisexual, is we have a tendency to completely lose ourselves in our partner, which Hyunjin would. This would manifest in him wearing your clothes, your perfume, your bed sheets, listening to the music you want, listening to wearing the same makeup that you do, the same accessories. If he did not have control over it, it could feel like he's not the partner you saw anymore. He is a reflection of you, which of course is extremely creepy, right? Like, it's creepy to have a boyfriend that is obsessed with looking like you and living your life. But in his mind, because again, Pisces, we can really psychologically manipulate ourselves into any idea we want. It is both a gift and a curse. He's thinking, oh, this isn't me being obsessive, this isn't me being jealous, this is me being completely devoted to you and showing you how much I love you, that I basically want to be in your skin. And this is why Hyunjin is the more jealous type, is because Hyunjin doesn't want to share or have his partner express any type of persona or any shared interest that is related to him. And so, for example, if you were to get really physically affectionate with a male friend, or he thought you were getting too intimately close with a male friend as well, his jealousy would manifest in, for starters, him being quite flighty with an Aries Mars. He'd be quite impulsive, but he wouldn't reveal it straight away. But Hyunjin as well is also the petty type of jealous, and Pisces as well, when unhealed, this can spin into very much like a victim complex. So if he was at his worst, this could come across as being very psychologically manipulative, like pulling you aside afterwards and being like, oh, okay, so you can be friends with him, but is he there for you when you cry? Is he there for you when you're sick? Is he there waiting for you late at night like I am? Does he know what perfume you wear when you want to feel pretty? No, but I do. That's how his jealousy manifests in. He thinks that a scrap of affection to anyone else apart from him is a sign of you not being 100% devoted to him like he is to you. And also, Hyunjin being an Aries Mars, this makes him also very temperamental. And like I've mentioned, Hyunjin is very dominant. He is a dom. I know people are like, oh, he's a switch, he's a sub. No, he's not. He's a dom. Have you seen him perform live? Total dom energy. And so this jealousy could manifest, for example, he could not act like he's jealous at all, but the moment that he comes home, he could be bereft. He could be temperamental. He might ghost you or not talk to you, because in his mind you've betrayed his sense of worship by giving your attention to someone else, even if it is solely minor. Again, Hyunjin is a very creative person, so in a fit of jealousy, this could manifest in him, I don't know, like scribbling or tearing up photos, maybe like drawing and redrawing old portraits or journal entries that he had of you. So in summary, Chris is the more possessive type, because he is all about protecting and marking what is his, whereas Hyunjin is the more jealous type, because he doesn't feel that you should pay any attention to anyone else apart from him. And if you do, it is a betrayal of his love and affection. Hyunjin is actually the opposite